To fix the problem, you have to admit the problem. Boeing says it's now done both.
Our top engineers and technical experts have been working tirelessly,
carrying out more than 100 test flights, and it says the 737 MAX is well on its way to returning to the skies.
Additional training and educational resources we're developing and deploying will do the job.
And that will be a shift. Boeing originally had not alerted pilots to the existence of the now problematic system, let alone required that they be trained on it. The MCAS was designed to automatically shift the plane's horizontal stabilizer up to push the nose down if it detected a climb was too rapid and a stall was possible. But if the safety system pushed the nose down when it wasn't necessary because of a faulty sensor called angle of attack on the nose, that could lead to a crash. It appears to be what happened last month to an Ethiopian airliner and a year ago with Indonesia's Lion Air.
We'll do everything possible to earn and re-earn that trust and confidence from our airline customers and the flying public in the weeks and months ahead.
Fixing the airplane may be easier than restoring faith. And this former Boeing engineer says Boeing must explain how a system intended to improve safety may have actually increased the danger.
It appears they left it less safe than we would have expected. There definitely needs to be some understanding of how that happened.
Boeing has updated the software, made changes to the cockpit, and begun an enhanced pilot training regime. But just after the Ethiopian crash, 53% of American adults told a poll conducted by Business Insider they did not want to fly on a 737 MAX, even when regulators declared it safe.
There's lack of trust in Boeing. For another, there's lack of trust in safety regulators. I haven't seen fear and concern among passengers about an airplane to this degree in decades. Boeing is going to have to be hyper-transparent, unlike anything it's ever been in the past, in terms of what the fixes are, the steps that Boeing has taken to make the airplane safe, so that passengers feel confident that when they get on a 737 MAX, they will have a perfectly safe, frankly, perfectly unremarkable trip.
As customers like Air Canada and WestJet get in-person briefings and demonstrations of the changes, Boeing will need to do what it's never had to do before, speak directly to passengers, not just airline execs, to push that plane as safe. Then there's the sales problem. Boeing's fastest-selling plane of all times hasn't sold at all this month or last. Some airlines may be about to cancel existing orders, so Boeing needs a big order to restore confidence in sales. And Alaska Airlines looks set to be that big buyer. And boy, it's likely to get a deal.
Boeing's not going to give the airplane away, but Boeing will negotiate, I think, very aggressively with airlines, and I'm sure that's what they're going to do with their existing customers.
There are also simmering questions about coziness between the American aviation regulator, the FAA, and Boeing. In a fierce competition with rival Airbus and a corporate need to get the 737 MAX to market quickly, Boeing successfully pushed to do nearly all the testing required rather than have the FAA do it independently. A top authority at the regulator, Ali Barami, once worked for the aircraft manufacturing industry, in 2013 urging Congress to back outsourcing certification to the industry. It would be detrimental to our competitiveness, he said, if foreign manufacturers are able to move improved products into the marketplace more quickly. Barami now oversees the 737 MAX's return to the skies. He will decide when it's safe to do so.
I think it is clear, just based on public sentiment, that there's an expectation that the FAA have a more direct role, and perhaps they've overextended their delegation at this time.
Already, the FAA appears to have more involvement in confirming when the plane can fly again. It's now signed off on a new training plan, meaning the plane could once again be airborne as soon as the summer. David Common, CBC News, Toronto.